You, Ray?
Welcome to the zone, the positive humanity zone. How many times I gotta repeat this? I'm joking. I'm in a good mood. I got some things I wanted to talk about quickly. You know, the huge divide that's in this country and the world, and I'm not talking about the Grand Canyon. I'm talking about the rich versus the poor. And of course, in between, you got the middle class. But it seems in history, there's never been as wide as it is now, even during the Depression and prior to the Depression, the Roaring '20s. And you look around all these other countries, this divide is getting like this, is getting wider and wider and wider. So, does that mean that rich people are negative and poor people are positive? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that there's something that needs to be addressed here. And I'm not talking about, you know, you might think, oh, here's Ray the socialist or the communist. No, it's not what we're talking about. We have nothing against rich people. I've been there rich, I've been poor, I've been rich. So let me tell you, when it comes to your health, it doesn't freaking matter, actually, if you got health insurance. Because if you have the Affordable Care Act, you'll have health insurance, whether you're poor or rich. So that's sidebar. How do we get such a divide today? Well, there's many answers to that. If you notice today, corporations are the highest profits almost ever been. The rich are as rich with their percentage as they've ever been. The stock market is as high as it's ever been. And people are doing well. And that's good to have the people who are in the rich class to be able to hire the rest of the world. The problem that's coming now is as they're getting more profitable and you're getting more efficient with the workforce, what's happening is you're getting by with less workers. And because there's so many workers who are unemployed, you're able to keep hiring people for less than maybe what they should be getting paid because there's so many out there. You know, if person John Smith decides he doesn't like getting paid XYZ, you can get rid of him and hire someone else that'll work for maybe 80, 90, 70% of what he was working for. Now, I'm not here to say what companies should do or shouldn't do, but there's some kind of divide here with the rich and the poor that is squeezing more and more middle class into the poor class. And, you know, this can go on and on and on. This is a free country. It's a capitalistic society. But in the end, where do you really want this to go? If it continues unabated, what could happen is you could have some guy in a mountain with a bushy beard come down from the mountain and he says, you know what, guys, here and here and here, you know what your problem is? You guys are all poor. And you know why you're poor? Because of this guy over here. He owns the company. He owns the land. He owns everything. And he's not sharing it with you. So what do you want to do about that? I have an idea. We're going to pick up our pitchforks. We're going to go into town. And we're going to go march at his gate over here. This guy right here. We're going to march at his gate. And we are going to give up till we take him down. Now, you see the scenario I'm trying to draw? The people there with the pitchforks picking them up, they're weak. They're easily led by some fanatic who feels the solution is to knock out the rich guy. And it's happened. There was a little place in Cuba called Santiago. The guy with the beard was Castro. I was in Cuba in 1958, 12 years old, before Castro. I saw the inequities of Cuba. And I'm not saying that was the answer, but guess what? Castro would not have ever made it out of the town of Santiago with one person by his side if the system were not run by a dictatorship and the U.S. mafia and the U.S. government. Now, you may have to edit that part out, but the truth is, you got this guy Castro. He didn't tell these people how to think. He knew how they were thinking. They were upset. Does that mean they had to have part of this guy's company over here? No, that's not what we're talking about. It doesn't mean that they want part of his profits. They want a fair, decent wage. They want to be able to have a livable wage and reasonable work conditions. So does that mean he over here has to make maybe a little bit less? Well, he might make a little less profit. But what's the alternative? if he makes a little less profit, is that going to drive him out of business? Does that mean he's going to fire people? No. If he's a negative, evil person, he might. But we just have to be able to address all of these issues. So, I'm being simplistic here now. But basically, what's fair and right needs to be addressed, because if you have this gap that keeps getting wider and wider and wider, where CEOs are paid XYZ and their workers are paid QXR, it doesn't compute. You know, it can go on just for so long. And even in a country as strong as we are, I worry what could happen. I worry that you might get a fanatic that decides to say, you know what, I have an easy fix for this. Pick up your pitchforks. That ain't right. That is not right. That's not what this country is. We're a free country and a free society. But with that free society, we need to have a bit of fairness and equity. I mean, somebody up there's got to think, wow, he put this big building up and he's got 40,000 employees. He's hiring all these people. Of course, that's great. That's what the system's all about. But at what price? And why? It's not about, say a socialistic sharing. It's about fairness. Those who are given more are expected more, are expected to do more. I mean, that's just simple. I mean, you get people, whatever religion there is. What do they teach? Whether it's Buddhism, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, what do they teach? You take care of the poor people. Doesn't mean you give them a free ride, but you take care of the people. You got to pull them up by the bootstraps. And you can't do that if they haven't got any boots. The famous saying, oh, you got to pick up yourself with your own bootstraps. Well, guess what? What if they haven't got any boots? What do we do then? They need a little bit of help, that's all. To me, this gap has to be addressed. How? It's just simple, positive and negative. Now, I leave that up to others to decide. I just throw out some facts. If out there, you're looking at me, hey, what are you, Ray? You're some kind of socialist, a communist, whatever? No, of course not. Like I said, I've been a rich guy, I've been in businesses, I've got patents all over the world. I am a product of success in this country. But guess what? It cannot keep going down this road, because you're going to reach a tipping point where you're going to have almost no middle class. Now, those out there, well, if you got a better solution or you have a solution to this, we're all ears to listen. I'm just saying that there's a problem out there. It's a negative problem. We need to get that positive motion going. I mean, and get, because it doesn't mean you're going to give everybody in Smithtown, Long Island, a Cadillac and a chicken in every pot, as they used to try to say. We'll give them a chicken and a Chevrolet. But no, what I'm saying is we need to upper the middle class. I saw a great cartoon one time. It was an automobile factory, Ajax Motors, and the two fat guys who owned the company and they're smoking their cigars. They're out in the parking lot, full of cars. And one guy says to the other fellow, you know what, Sam? With what we pay our employees, if each one of them buys a car from us every 2 years, we could stay in business forever. Think about that. Now, if they're not paying employees enough, there was no cars in the lot. They're all taking the bus to work because they can't even afford a car that company, Ajax Motors, makes. So, if Ajax has to pay their employees more and then they got to charge more for their product, it all equals out. I mean, when you raise the ability for middle class consumers to consume, then everything grows exponentially that way. But if you keep pushing poor people, keep pushing middle class people to the poor side of the equation, then you're going to end up with a situation that may not be reversible. Now, I like to think that we are a positive humanity site, and so we try to look at the positive of this. So it's something that we need to talk about to address, because, and this is not just exclusive to the United States of America either. This is, you go country to country to country. It's all pretty much in different degrees.
Can you also do a call to action? Real quick, just
who?
It's call to action. You're asking the audience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
see
what?
if you
Gotcha.
guys agree or disagree, leave
Gotcha.
comments and stuff like
Okay. So with all of that said, folks, in the positive zone here, let me move my coffee out of the way here a second and show you a blank piece of paper. There's nothing on this piece of paper. What I would like is, after I spewed all my opinions and thoughts and ideas, now I need some help from you guys. I need some help from you out there. I want this paper filled up with some ideas and thoughts. How do we address the huge divide in this country? I mean, 'cause heck, I'm not an economist. I'm just, you know what I am? I'm an observer of the situation. And if you think the situation the way it is right, I got another piece of paper. You can tell me your opinion on that side. You can tell me to go fly a kite. I never learned how to do that, by the way. But, so you got two pieces of paper and a blank. Give me positive ideas or tell me that I'm crazy. Your choice. Positive humanity forever. Thank you, guys. The zone is out.